Hey everybody. Welcome to your weekly News World Update. This week, we're going to be looking at Dynasty Shipyard and the Lazarus instrumentality for your active mutations. Let's start off with Dynasty. Residing within the shipyard are corrupted mobs, so you'll want to be using Thrust, Nature, or Arcane damage types in order to be effective. Make sure to also use Corrupted Ward on your gear to mitigate your damage taken. The mutation this week is Hellfire, another week for rubies and fire protection gear, but for players who can take the heat and come out on top, you will be rewarded with Flame Attunement and Flame Conditioning craft mods. The promotion this week is Indomitable, meaning that you will need to be wary of enemies healing themselves or using shields to block player projectiles. Healers will need to be especially careful not to have their spells blocked by the shields. Our curse this week is going to be Frenzied 2. Be aware that dodging will give you a 1.5% max HP damage over time debuff, stacking up to 3 times. If the debuff wears off while you have 3 stacks, a fire zone will be placed under you, dealing 10% of max HP every tick for 15 seconds, instantly dealing 30% of your max HP upon entering the zone. And now, moving on to Lazarus. Inside the Lazarus dungeon, players will encounter ancient enemies. Knowing this, players will want to be utilizing Strike, Lightning, or Void damage in order to be effective. Ancient Ward is also recommended to mitigate your damage taken. Lazarus's mutation this week is going to be Eternal, so prep your Amethysts and Void protection gear. Any players able to thrive in the Void will be rewarded with Abyssal Attunement and Abyssal Conditioning craft mods. The promotion of the week for Lazarus is going to be Savage, so be aware that enemies will be able to afflict you with disease, reducing your healing by up to 5%, and they will also be able to cast slicer beams around themselves. Make sure to pay attention to your stamina to avoid being quickly damaged by a combo of these two effects. For our curse, we're going to be dealing with Censored 2. Players will need to be aware that casting abilities will deplete a global affliction bar, and when this bar is empty, a silencing zone will be cast on all players. At the end of the zone's duration, it will explode, dealing 65% of max HP as void damage to all players within the radius. While these zones are active, players will also lose all natural mana regen, but can stand within the radius for 25 mana every 0.75 seconds. This week, we have an event update for you guys. As of May 23rd, the Springtide Bloom event will be ending. However, starting May 24th to June 13th, a new event will be starting, the Fury of the Spriggan. For this event, players will be tasked with finding and defeating Dryad Shamans across Brightwood, Ebonscale Reach, Eden Grove, Morningdale, and Brimstone Sands. According to AGS, this event is recommended for open world groups of players 20 or more. Rewards for this event include event-only weapons and armor, umbral shards, random global pool named items, and an event-specific housing item. The housing item will start at a 2% drop chance, increasing each time the item is not dropped. These rewards are given out on a daily basis, and will reset at 5 AM Eastern Standard Time each day. That's all from us for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for your next weekly News World Update. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for next week's episode, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Have a great week, everybody, and good luck in your dungeons.